Here is the photographyandcinema.com GearBox. It's a video accessory cage that allows you to mount your DSLR camera whilst having access to mount a variety of accessories like LED lights, LCD monitors, viewfinders, microphones, audio recorders, and everything else that you want to carry with your camera. There's two handles here that allow you to do some handheld shooting and add some stabilization. There are 1/4x20 holes underneath here so you can mount a quick release plate so that you can mount the entire DSLR cage on top of a tripod. There are extension adapters here so that you can make the bracket slightly taller to support larger cameras or to support a camera with a quick release adapter. It's slotted at the top here. It doesn't align perfectly with every camera, but you're able to see the top windows of your camera to dial in your settings. There's a cutout at the bottom here, so you can access the battery door of most cameras, like the Canon DSLRs. They line up to this area here. There are a number of different cages on the market today built for DSLR video. Now, some of these are a little high priced and often over-engineered for cameras like the Sony NEX7. We have the GH2, something like the Canon T4i, or even a Canon T2i. If you're traveling with a small bag and you have most of your camera equipment in here, you can see how these cages aren't going to fit very well. And that's one of the problems that we run into often when we're traveling is we don't want to bring heavy cages or anything that doesn't break down very easily because we travel with small and light backpacks. So the new PNC GearBox breaks down into just a couple of different sections, and you can see how these sections here will fit into this bag. So I'll put it together right now. It'll fit a T4i nicely. So here's a 5D Mark II mounted inside the PNC GearBox. So now if I wanted to add my portable audio recorders, microphones, LED lights, an LCD monitor, a viewfinder, I'd have plenty of places to mount this. Now the reason why we put grips here on the side, and this is just slightly wider than what it needs to be, is because you can use this as a stabilizer as well. So the further your hands are from the camera, the more stabilization you're going to have when you're doing handheld shots. So it makes it really easy to kind of shoot around handheld. Here we have the new Nikon D800. This camera's slightly taller. So what you also get with the PNC cage is these little extension brackets or little extension adapters here. These will mount between the grip and the bottom bracket. Gives you a little bit more height for taller cameras, and also what it does is it gives you enough space to then mount a quick release system if you wanted to mount your camera in and out of the cage easily. All you have to do is remove the two bottom screws. Now you have a larger bracket system to fit larger cameras like the Nikon D800. All right, so now that we have our extension adapters in place, I'll put a quick release system here. So we're just using a Manfrotto quick release system. So now that we have the quick release base plate installed on the PNC GearBox, I can slide my camera in and out of here very easily. And you can see I have enough clearance up here to fit a slightly larger camera as well with this quick release system. All right, so here I show the PNC GearBox with the extension adapters removed, but I still have a quick release base plate in here. This is perfect for smaller cameras like the Sony NEX7 or even popular cameras like the GH2. So a camera fits perfectly, has a little bit of clearance here, and still has a quick release system to get your camera in and out fairly easily. And the LCD can also swing out completely. Alright, so the top of this PNC gearbox has both threaded and non-threaded holes here, mounts. So the reason why you want to have two different types is here I have a 1/4 by 20 bolt run through the cage. But if we were to mount something like this little hot shoe clip, sometimes this doesn't align properly because the screw is actually trapped in the thread. So if we're using mounts like this, you would use a complete pass-through, and there's several alternating threaded and non-threaded mounts here. So you would use a pass-through so it doesn't trap the bolt, and then from here you can position your mount and then tighten the bolt underneath. And if you're using something with this threaded design here, that's where you can add something like a mini ball head, which a lot of people use for their audio recorders or LCD monitors. And these ball heads, usually you can rotate them around to any position you want and then lock them down. So that's where you would use a threaded mount. Also, having the threaded mounts will allow you to mount friction arms like this PNC 7-inch directly to the cage. Alright, so here's a really good example of a setup used with the PNC gearbox. We have the Nikon D800 matched up with the Atomos Ninja here. The Nikon D800 does output full HD through HDMI, and the Ninja is going to allow you to get better footage because you're capturing it out through the HDMI. So it's something that you want to use, and you know, the PNC cage here, the gearbox is a good way to mount that. And you can see I have a Zoom H4n here, so we have a portable recorder on board. We still have plenty of space here if you're working with a wireless receiver or, you know, some sort of microphone. So there's a lot of options that you could use this accessory bracket for. All right, another fine example of the PNC gearbox, we have here a T4i with a battery grip. So this actually fits inside with the extension adapters here. A larger camera with a battery grip won't fit, but with these smaller cameras like the T4i, T3i, and T2i, you can see it fits well. So we have here the F&V 480 LED light. We have a small HD DP4 with a loop on there when we're working in bright days. And then here we have a Rode stereo video mic, but normally I'd put a Video Mic Pro on something like this. And then the Canon T4i LCD is swung out. And you can see there's clearance here on the side to support the audio cable and the HDMI cable as well. For more information about the PNC gearbox, check out photographyandcinema.com.